Alright, here we are. I'm not going to record the whole video tonight. You know, we're not going to do this in one fell swoop. But I'll do some of it, and then I'll record the rest tomorrow morning. Edward Skeletrix, we got some fun stuff to look at with him. First off, sent in the Discord, we have a sort of quick analysis of the new album that came out almost a month ago, Body of Work, which I like that album a lot. I was listening to songs off of it recently, and I was recognizing that it's fucking up there. I think Edward Skeletrix has surpassed my boy Blade this year, I will most certainly say. Then we have the interview that he did, and an interview with with o0o, or I should say, it's, oh my god, 000. And then we in Linnea had asked for a few of these sort of cosigns that Edward has done and posted on his channel. One of them, Anaïs, Setareh, which we'd heard recently on the last singles compilation we did. But without further ado, let's get into this video.
This isn't really like, for me, the music that I put in my playlist. It's one of those things where it's just like you look, you wave, and then you know what I mean, you admire or whatever, and then you keep it pushing. I do feel like Edward Skeletrix, like, I know he does it on purpose, he's on that chill shit, but I do feel like his rapping ability is like, yeah, it's kind of abysmal, like, I don't know, like...
KNE. I'm aware of this guy. I think he's blown up pretty fast. I have not... I think I maybe watched a little bit of one of his videos once. I don't remember which one. His rapping ability is abysmal, eh? I think we should frame it differently. I think we should think of it as the way he's rapping is with intent. I don't think he's trying to be a rapper like he's trying to be fucking Method Man, right? So I think maybe that's something to keep in mind. And when he's saying about not putting songs in playlists, I guess I don't really make playlists. I make some playlists to organize and catalog things, but not just to listen to music like this. I usually just will pick the song, or I'm here reacting to albums, man. I fucking listen to albums when I'm off this channel. That's what I do.
Keep it real, like, it's not the best thing, bro. I feel like I never really hear him try, and I feel like since his voice is so unique and whatever, if he did try to expand that aspect of himself, his songs could go way crazier, you know what I mean? Cause yeah, I just feel like on some songs, like, he's literally reusing the exact same flow.
I'm gonna get my thoughts across real quick. That was Edward Skeletrix, Edward Skeleton.
I don't know who this is.
Body of work. This album is a body of work, for sure. It gives, like, it's audio art. It's audio art with his music. But even with listening to him, Chad, I don't personally see myself, like, coming back to Edward's music. But yeah, I don't see myself coming back to his...
I'm not surprised by people having this opinion, to be honest, though. I get it. Right? I'm not an idiot. But even the song playing in the background now, fucking banger, dude. I don't know, dude. Music is subjective. But even though it's subjective, I can understand a base understanding, maybe, of what type of music can attract a majority audience. You know what I mean?
Music ever. I don't even see myself, like, reacting to him again, because it's like I just wasted an hour. We just wasted an hour and 25 minutes of our time listening to this music and listening to this shit.
What is an artist? Is an artist someone who makes things that are easy to consume, easy to rate, easy to understand on first listen? Or is an artist someone who translates emotion into sound, even when it comes out ugly, chaotic, and uncomfortable? Because this is where I think people misunderstood Body of Work by Edward Skeletrix. A lot of reviews treated this album like it had failed at being polished, but I don't think it was trying to be polished in the first place. I think the disorder is the message. This album constantly blurs the line between control and collapse. There's this recurring idea throughout the project that structure itself is unstable. Take for example, Chaos in the Order, one of the most stronger tracks in Body of Work. That line completely changes the emotional framework of the album, because normally we think of order as safety, stability, control, but Edward flips that idea down. He's saying chaos was already inside the structure, the relationship, the identity, the routine, the mask. Everything looked organized from the outside, but internally it was already rotten. If order secretly contains chaos, then chaos reveals what you actually are. The jungle in this album isn't just a place, it's psychological. It represents survival, instinct, emotional exposure. The moment where civilization peels away and all that is left is raw human underneath. That's why the album sounds so fragmented. It's not badly constructed, it's emotionally constructed. It sounds like someone documented internal collapse in real time. That's a huge difference, because most negative reviews approached Body of Work like its messiness was accidental. But what if messiness is the concept? What if the discomfort was intentional? There's another line later on where Edward says, "In the jungle, I'm an animal." And that lyric connects directly back to the idea of chaos inside the order. Because once structure collapses, once the mask disappears, all that's left is instinct, survival, fear, isolation. The album keeps peeling away layers of civilization and performance until you're left with something raw and almost primal. That's why I think people misunderstood this project. They were looking for something to polish when the album was already trying to portray deterioration. And if you clean up deterioration too much, it stops feeling real.
I do agree with you about this sort of element, I guess, about chaos and the order. Again, this idea of this album being fragmented, we have all these interludes or artists sucking the life out of me, blah, 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 blah. I'm pretty sure this is him in some sort of chaotic state due to these societal expectations of what his art should be, in a way. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, this sort of thing you're kind of talking about this in a jungle, I'm an animal, this base instincts. I think what I'm trying to grab at is that it's a very primal human thing, what he's trying to do. And maybe not trying to put art in a box is important, irregardless of how certain audiences are not going to attach onto it. And yeah, I think too, trying to be so philosophical like this, especially in the underground, I guess trying to be this type of, like, a level of philosophicalness in the underground is not always expected. I mean, come on. What did Blade say recently, right? What all these rappers are talking about in their music. Hey man, it's fine if you want to talk about all the same things that everyone else is talking about, okay? Especially too because not every person consuming art is thinking the same way, okay? Okay, here I am liking Edward Skeletrix's music and what he is trying to convey through his music. But, I still fucking will listen to a Netspend song. You know what I mean? I can take both, okay? I can enjoy a fucking 3-hour long Chinese art house film and then enjoy fucking Infinity War the next day. You know what I mean? This idea that we need to kind of only recognize to what you're saying, right, about is art, like, you know, to make, you know, for things to be uncomfortable, right? Like, art isn't always meant to be something to be enjoyed in that right frame of mind, right? And yeah, for sure, right? I think I was just discussing this in my Classical Reacts video, which will be out after this video, but you know, you can really find the beauty in something and not want to re-listen to it or do other things. Like, I was talking about the movie Schindler's List. You know what I mean? Many people would hail that movie to be a masterpiece, but do we want to watch that movie again? As much as even fucking, I don't know, Super Baby Geniuses too. I don't know. Do you understand what I'm trying to say though? But again, with the clips at the start too, with those reaction channels, a lot of reaction channels, and I don't think this is a bad thing, but they're there to just find music to vibe with. If they like the music, they like the music. It's not really always meant to be some sort of intense criticism. You know what I mean? I think that the way that both of those people thought about the music is completely valid. You know what I mean? It's not important for them to even delve deeper to understand the music. If they don't want to have to do that, they don't have to do that. That's not required to have an opinion, I suppose.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, it's okay, you know, just live your life. Everything is okay. It's okay to be broke. It's okay to be ugly as fuck. It's okay to be cringe as fuck. Like, it's okay to have AIDS. It's okay to be fucking black. It's okay to be white. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans. It's okay to be anything. Just live your life. Like, seriously. I mean, I identify as like being an artist and all of these other things. I identify with being a good person, and I identify as being a black person, and I'm Edward. My name's Edward, and you know, it creates this ego of something that like I need to be, and I don't need to be any of that. I'm not any of that. I'm just existing. And you know, when I like create this identity, it can be broken or it can be attacked or anything can happen to it. And you know, what happens if I go blind? Then I can't create art anymore, and that would make me really sad.
I will, first off, I'll talk about the first point about, you know, existing and stuff like that as Edward. You know, if you're not that, you're just existing. And it's one of those interesting things, too, to think about. Like, how long is someone's legacy? How long is it really? I'm speaking about this in the sense of how can we understand human history. I understand that there's people from a long time ago, thousands of years ago in human history, that we are aware of still today. But will that ever change? Right? And when we consider from thousands of years ago, who are the people we don't know anymore? Who have been lost in the annals of time? Who will be lost in the annals of time in this era, thousands of years from now? This stuff only matters right now. And then to the other point about him being blind, he can't create art anymore. I don't know what he's fully trying to say. Have you listened to songs in the key of life?
Why? I don't need to be sad. Like, I don't need to be sad because of that. I should be able to be blind and still live a happy and fulfilling life. So how I can do that is by not identifying with anything. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not perfect at that. Way easier said than done, but...
You're trying to say this idea of living with an ego in a way, right? Yeah, it's way easier said than done. I wish I could do that, man. I think it's hard. Especially when you're someone who believes in themselves more than what is actually in their life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I have a lot of clashing with my ego for sure.
That's like one of my goals. Yeah, and I'm not some perfect monk or anything like that. Like, I have a huge ego, and it's like something that I'm like battling with, because like half the time I'm in my ego, and then half the time I'm really peaceful and not in my ego. And it really switches every minute, every second. Like, that's why I contradict myself a lot, because sometimes I'm speaking from my ego, and sometimes I'm speaking just, from like the awareness, like no ego. It's okay. Like, even if I'm contradicting myself, it's okay. But that is why I contradict myself a lot. I can't identify with being a good person, because then I would have...
I think him discussing the fact of wanting to not identify with all these things, there's an intentional blur of himself.
To follow every single rule of being a good person. And the rules are different for everyone. Everybody has a different, different guidelines for what a good person is. Like, some people say being a Republican is a good person. Some people say being a Democrat, you're a good person. Or if you tip, you're a good person.
And those people are fucking stupid as shit. Okay? Your political opinions, at the end of the day, like, oh my God. I don't know. People need to live a life and get off the internet, because, me being a leftist person, I will tell you here, okay, when there's right-wing people who have some fucking outrageous beliefs in my eyes, okay, and at the same time, they'll be the fucking kindest person ever to you. I genuinely believe that a lot of people on the right, sometimes, I don't know what the percentage really be. It could be very small, or it could be very big. But they're just stupid. They're believing a lie that someone is telling them. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? They can be smart in other ways, maybe, sure. But they are completely under the illusion. And it's rather unfortunate.
Person, if you don't tip, you're a bad person. Everybody has a different idea of whatever.
And yeah, there's many Democrats who are just fucking scum of the earth.
They think everything is. So why would I put myself in a box and say, oh, I am this, when it's different for everybody? There's all these rules. So yeah, I'm just not really trying to go by everybody else's fucking rules, and the rules change all the time, not just for being a good person, but for anything. So it's...
Add on to this point, something I was seeing recently, talking about morals. I mean, one of the biggest examples of things you can bring up is traditional religion. I guess growing up Catholic and looking at the history of Catholicism, just seeing what has changed within morals, right? Like, one of the things, right? Gays are accepted strongly by a lot of different, not all in Christianity, let's be real, but I mean, look at the fucking Pope, man, right? That's one of those things too. Religion, man, is just all politics. If you haven't seen the movie Conclave, you should definitely see that movie.
It's all pretty like funny, like it's really just a joke. Like, life is this super big joke. It's really not that serious. Life really isn't that serious.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Life isn't really...
I understand what you're saying, and I don't know. I think we just get so trapped in our heads and thinking about the way our life is or how we view the world, and none of it's real, right? None of it is actual truth, for the most part. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate. But you know, and direct address to Edward, you have to consider, like, all the billions of people in this world. Are we really gonna have some? Like, how many people truly understand what you're saying, though, to that degree? And again, you already have said it, but contradicting yourself in certain ways, I'm sure that even you can't always adhere to this type of thinking. Although I do agree with you.
That's serious. But, we take it so seriously. Like, you could be born the richest, most handsome, whatever. You get all the girls, you have all the money, you're a billionaire. You were born in the United States, like first world country. Or you could be, born completely poor. You have, like, whatever, schizophrenia, like heart condition. You have, like, no limbs. How can you take something like that serious?
The lottery of life, right? Yeah, I understand what you mean. All the different avenues that people have to take, and again, what is it all for? What is the purpose? The best question a philosopher can ask: why?
It's like a video game. It's like randomized. So why would I take life serious? Like, why would I take something that's so unpredictable and so random serious?
Right. I could die tomorrow.
It would just hurt me, So, that's kind of what I mean by that. And I know some people will say, oh, if everything's okay, is this okay? Is hurting people okay? Is this okay? And, I'm hurting people right now just by existing. People will always be hurt just by you existing. So, everything is okay.
I somewhat understand what you're saying. If you're saying this in the sense of, I'm thinking about it more so through a capitalist world and us consuming in that world, there is certainly some elements to that are, through different chains of people, are definitely affecting people poorly. You know what I mean? Which is kind of sucks, but it's impossible. I think they talked about something like this in The Good Place, that show, if you haven't watched it, about, like, they're going like, hey, it's unfair that you're saying that I bought this thing, and then it was, I don't remember the exact thing, but this is just an example, like, kind of like it, from, and it's being made in a sweatshop or something like that, and you don't know these things, right? So, in a way, you caused harm. Or even, let's say, for example, you voted for someone, and that decision that you voted for that person is leading to people getting hurt, right? I don't know, potentially voting for Trump is making innocent people in fucking Iran, a fucking school getting bombed, right? In some form or fashion, you are hurting somebody without realizing it fully or ever really understanding those actions.
I don't know everything, I'm still figuring everything out for myself. I'm really more so just making this video for myself because I kind of wanted to just vent and talk about some shit, I don't know. I'm definitely like super attached to art, and I make that my identity in my own head, like art is my identity. I feel like the art that I put out it represents me, and that's just not even true. When I make that my identity, yeah. I'm really trying to just have peace in my life, and that comes I'm really trying to have peace in my life, and art is like I make art my identity, and it's not my identity, it's not me, but I identify as being an artist, or I say like, oh, I'm a artist and I'm a black person, or I'm this, and I like create this character, personality, or whatever, and it's not really me.
Yes. Yeah, with being an artist too, I mean, again, there's a degree of performance there. And who you are, everyone in this world is so extremely multifaceted that, I mean, again, no one, and I mean no one in this world will know who you truly are. They can know a lot about you. They can know a hell of a lot about you. But there is so much that they will never understand. No one can be inside your brain and understand why you do the things that you do, or how you're feeling with the utmost degree of nuance. Do you know what I mean? And as an artist as you are, people are even further from that. Okay? What you do when you leave your fucking exhibits, or outside of the music that you're providing for people, there is like the amount that we have from Edward is fucking zilch. Okay? And that goes for any of your favorite artists. Okay? Day in, day out. Okay, you watched a Martin Scorsese movie. Do you know what it was like for him fucking for years working on this fucking thing? Or, I mean, a guy's like 80, 90 years old. What has he been doing? You don't fucking know. Right? It's something you have to keep into consideration. And at the end of the day, saying that this person isn't you, who are you then? Because I even think about the reality that we don't even know ourselves to the utmost degree either.
Like back in 2020 or like 2021, I went through this whole dark period or whatever, but I was really scared of, my biggest fear in the world was like becoming schizophrenic. It was like a super irrational fear, but my dad, he works in the medical field and in Albany, Georgia. And he would always talk about schizophrenia and whatnot, like as I was growing up. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yeah, I was just really scared of becoming schizophrenic, and it was really for no reason.
I have a cousin with schizophrenia. I guess because this is anonymous, it doesn't really matter, but I have a cousin with schizophrenia, and supposedly he saw death, like, you know, that character Death, knock on a neighbor's door before that person died. That's some crazy shit. Sometimes I think that schizophrenia is somewhat attached to spiritual things, but I know not completely. I've heard some stories about schizophrenia, man. I did work with someone with schizophrenia a while back, and bless her soul, man, oh my god. She was like one of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. She was just always in a good mood. But she would tell me some of the... she was a pretty open book. She would tell me some of the things that she would hallucinate and stuff like that. And again, I don't have that same thing, right? Like, she's telling me about how she was being abducted by aliens. And I was like, oh, and like, you like recognize that? Like, did you actually, like, she's like, it wasn't just like hallucination, like, I thought it was real. I'm like, damn, they like, is full on, man. Like, that's terrifying to me. I don't know what she's up to now, but God bless her. She has my copy of Norwegian Wood. I will never get that back. But the one thing that I think is very heartbreaking about it, to me, about her, is that, I mean, she was like in post-secondary, you know what I mean? Like, she was an intelligent woman. And, you know, schizophrenia, like, can fucking take a lot from you. Can take your future away. That being said, though, there is many people who are schizophrenic who have succeeded in life. Okay, and for those people, hallelujah for you, because it's definitely not an easy road, but it is fucking possible. Alrighty, here I am. I fucking forgot to stop recording last night, so I woke up to a 9-hour-long video. But we can continue on with Edward Skeletrix's interview now.
Through these, like, have these insane thoughts of like, damn, because like, well, I have a Twitter tattoo, and the reason why I got that was because Twitter was the first ever social media that I had, and on there, when you start scrolling, the videos automatically start playing, and I don't know why or like who I was following, but a lot of the people I was following, they were like retweeting these like gore videos, and I wasn't like seeking it out or anything, but
you know, I'm actually quite lucky, because I've only ever seen one of these types of videos only once, when I was a young kid, like grade 6, grade 5, I don't know, but I saw one of those like Taliban beheading videos, and I kind of remember it, and when you're watching that video, it doesn't even like kind of look real, like, but it's very an odd sort of thing.
when I would watch these videos, I wouldn't even know it was a gore video. I'm just looking at the video, and you know, it happens, like somebody gets shot in the head, or somebody, I don't know, like gets their head cut off. And after seeing that, it would really just like ruin the next 3 days in a row for me. I would have these like crazy like depression for the next 3 days, which is kind of strange because as a kid, I could watch those videos and nothing would happen. But around 2020, it just really was shaking me. And I think it was because I was scared of becoming schizophrenic. I had this thought process that like, if I was to see something traumatic, even if it was online and not happening to me, it would like fuck my brain up somehow. I don't know why I was thinking that, but you know, maybe.
I understand what you're saying. You have this idea, because again, schizophrenia can come from heavy trauma, right? And that shit's unavoidable. I don't know, right? The randomness, right? Who is bound to get a certain condition and so forth.
I think maybe it's like OCD or something.
Yeah, I have OCD. I was diagnosed with OCD at 12 years old. I've been having to take pills since then. I'm used to it though. Even though I take meds, I think because I haven't really upped my dosage since I've aged and gained more weight and stuff like that, my OCD has certainly gotten worse. But it's my way of being, so it doesn't click in my head to like do something about it.
But yeah, so it would just really, I would be thinking about it for the next 3 days straight, and it was really, I don't know, I tried to prevent myself from anything that would possibly make me schizophrenic. So I stopped like smoking weed, like stopped everything. And during COVID, I was inside most of the time, you know, like quarantine. And I guess my thoughts were just crazy. Like I was just to myself. I was thinking all to myself, thinking so much just by myself. And yeah, like it got so bad to where I would just wake up and then, excuse me, everything would just kind of look like super fake. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I was like seeing myself in third person. Me even talking about it right now is kind of like throwing me back into that. I can kind of feel it, but anyways, and yeah, I would be in my room and like my dad, he would be gone. I was in my parents' house during COVID, and my dad, he would be gone, and I would just have these random, like, I would have these random flashes, like, in my head. They were just thoughts, but I'd have these random thoughts, and you know when a thought is so powerful, it makes like an image in your head.
Yep.
So my brain was just showing me these images and like videos of like my dad getting shot in the face and super gory images of me.
Yeah, that sounds like OCD to me, right? OCD, obsessive compulsive thoughts. In many respects with OCD, it wants to just throw you the most fucked up things. that you wouldn't normally think about. Sometimes not OCD isn't always the same, right? Like, I don't have that sort of like open your door 3 times to do this or whatever like that. But compulsive thoughts, again, I'm so used to it at this point, but recognizing that your thoughts aren't you is like, it can be a difficult thing, right? But holy shit, yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
Like my dad getting killed, and it would just scare the fuck out of me to the point where I would call him and just make sure, you know, he was like alive. I never told him this, by the way. Like, he's never even heard me say this, but yeah, it was just a really scary time for me. And you know, there was this one time I went on a date, and this was in Atlanta. We saw like that Joker movie, and it was the Joker movie where like the Joker goes on some talk show and then kind of like puts the gun in his mouth and then like.
Shout out. This movie's okay, but I did get to go see this at TIFF. It's the only time I went to TIFF, and there's a Todd Phillips Q&A, so that was pretty goated experience I gotta have.
Blows his fucking brains out, and after that scene, yeah, I was just like so scared of becoming schizophrenic. I was like sure I was gonna become schizophrenic after watching that, because I'm like, oh, that was a traumatic thing to see a human's not.
I think too, your fear of becoming schizophrenic was a part of OCD as well, right? Like your worries about that.
Supposed to see that, and then yeah, after exiting the movie theater, like everything just looked completely fake. Everything looked like I was in a movie or like Play-Doh. I don't know how to explain it, but
I don't know how to explain it either.
Yeah,
when this happens,
I didn't know what to do. I just like called my parents, like scared as fuck. But yeah, that's kind of like where my fear of guns started too. So I had developed this fear of becoming schizophrenic, and I also developed this fear of guns, like these irrational fears. And yeah, so like I just couldn't even look at guns. It would just do something to me. It got so bad to the point where I couldn't even watch Fortnite videos because they had like guns in it. And yeah, I couldn't watch Call of Duty videos because I'm like, oh, people are getting killed. It's really crazy, like ridiculous.
It's interesting though. I mean, the way that you're thinking with this stuff too, kind of speaks about our culture. How we're so able to view these things. Yeah, it's a fucking cartoon, whatever. But the imagery is there of people getting killed and so forth, and it's relatively dark. It's so strange how our brain is able to sort of do that, like understand this is a video game, this isn't real. Why are we able to provide so much emotional distance? Like, of course there's some distance, right, obviously, from being there and killing someone to a fucking video game, but you know what I mean? It doesn't click with us to think about reality fully.
Super dumb, but that's what was happening to me. And yeah, throughout that, like, it resulted in this 24-hour hell of me just waking up and everything looking fake and being scared all the time, panic attacks, whatnot. And yeah, I was really sick of that. Like, I was going to therapy, or I was going to like therapists, that wasn't working. They're prescribing me pills. That's not working. Nothing's working. So at a certain point, I was just like, damn, what do I do? Like, do I just kill myself? Like, I can't keep going on like this.
I get it.
So,
like I said in my the one, I know what it feels like to be depersonalized like this, and yeah, I really do. Like, I'm pretty much out of that now. I get it every now and again. Like, it'll sort of be like I don't even know how to explain this. Like, an episode. That's what people would say. Yeah, I can get like an episode when it's like it can go away relatively quickly now. But there was a time where it was like months I was in that state of mind. And yeah, you start to believe that that's your life forever now. You'll never feel normal. You'll never actually get to live life the way you used to. And it was the most, yeah, it's up there. I would say it's the most terrified I've been in my life. Actually, yes-ish? No, like maybe number 2. Because there was a time where I thought I was going to die years ago. I haven't even talked about this. Where there was like DMT remnants in a bowl of weed I smoked. And I guess if you don't smoke all of it, and it doesn't do like the breakthrough dose, you can get put in a time loop. That was the most scared I've ever been in my life, because I thought I lived eternity on a fucking couch where everyone was asleep and I couldn't fall asleep, and I'm staring at a wall and I'm watching this guy come in and out, blowing up an air mattress again, again, and again. Drugs are bad, Ben. I don't even know what you want me to say.
So I typed in on YouTube how to stop being depressed, and this video came up by like Eckhart Tolle, and I watched like 10 seconds and I was like, yeah, this is complete bullshit. This isn't gonna help me. And I just clicked off the video. And then, yeah, I went back into that hell period, and it just, everything kept getting worse. And I was like, fuck, I'm willing to do anything to not feel like this anymore. So I typed in how to stop being depressed again. And then, yeah, I was just kind of like watching Eckhart's speeches and Moji's speeches and Krishnamurti. And yeah, I was really kind of like soaking that in and what they were teaching. And it really just changed my life when I started applying what they were saying and really internalizing it. And yeah, that's why I really just, I'm such a fucking preacher. I'm always preaching about shit and whatnot. Just because, you know, I want other people to win. And, you know, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to win. So I want to just, like, share what I feel like is beneficial. But, yeah. I'm not some super perfect person. I don't have everything figured out. I don't have everything, you know, I don't have the answers to everything. I don't have the answers to everything. I don't have the answers to everything. Yeah, I have this like bracelet that I always wear. It has like, I don't know, like my friend made this bracelet with some like razor on it or something. And one day, like, you know, we were just in LA, and we were going to some party. We were having a good day. It was like a super good time. And then randomly, he just says, like, bro, your music fucking blows. Like, your music fucking sucks. Like, dead serious. Nobody was talking about music, or we weren't even talking about music. We were just like laughing. And when he said that, it felt like, you know, he was attacking me. Because, you know, I identify as like an artist or whatever, or like, you know, and yeah, I really had to just like, I felt the insides of myself really getting annoyed, and I had to just be like, yo, you're just having these negative thoughts. They're just thoughts. It doesn't even fucking matter. Like what he said. And, you know, I just had to like not react to the thoughts. And
But I don't understand why he like, he can have that opinion, but you didn't ask for it. Do you know what I mean? It just seems very peculiar. And again, I understand there's a lot of people that feel a certain way about Edward's music, but you have enough, again, even music that I don't like in this world, I have to recognize they have an audience, okay? You have an audience, you're able to build some form of a career from this, so you can't really think about these opinions and if it matters, right? Because you're always going to have people who are enjoying your music and understanding your artistry, and I think that is an important thing to take.
yeah, I had to keep going about my life. But that just showed me, you know, I'm still super, that's what I mean when I'm attached. I'm attached to the art. I'm attached. And yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I be getting mad? Why would I get mad about that?
Okay, to me, you getting mad about that shouldn't be about what their opinion is, but the way that they decided to tell you something like this. It's just fucking disrespectful, right? That's sort of the important thing to take from that.
It doesn't make any sense. But, you know, when I'm in my ego, I get mad about shit like that. It makes no sense. Another thing that like puts what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to give examples of what I'm talking about. But for my New York exhibition, I was like, hey, I want to shoot a documentary for my exhibition, whatnot. And then my friend was like, oh, I'll shoot it, like, da-da-da. So I told him I wanted to be like heavily involved in the cutting process of the video or whatnot. And or he shot the documentary, and I didn't get to like cut it how I want to. He just, you know, he saw it as his project at that point, and yeah, it was his project at that point, I guess. And the fact that like I couldn't cut it and it couldn't be how I wanted it, and it was portraying me in a certain way, it really hurt like my identity, and like, oh, you know, it's like messing with my art, and I attach art to myself so much So it's like, damn, you're fucking with me. And, you know, that doesn't make any sense. When he put that out, I was really angry at him. I was like yelling at him and raising my voice. And just like, you know, it doesn't make any sense for me.
I will say it feels like there should have been proper communication about what was expected here. I don't really, like, if you asked him to do this, then it wasn't like him, you know what I mean? Like, just taking over in a specific certain way.
Be doing that. We don't have to be like that. We could just have peace in our lives. Yeah, so that's why I need to not be attached to art. I need to not be attached. And yeah, so I won't have these hyper fluctuating emotions and thoughts. I really need to detach myself from the thoughts. Like, the thoughts aren't me. I need to not react to every single thought. I don't need to react to 99% of thoughts, you know. I'm not saying thoughts are bad. Some thoughts are good. But, yeah, I need to be able to be like a slave master to the thoughts instead of a slave to the thoughts. Right now, like, you know, half the time I'm a slave to my thoughts. I'm just going wherever my thoughts go, doing whatever my thoughts say do, reacting to every single thought. And I need to be like the slave master to the thoughts and just turn them on when I want, you know. And my base level is just not reacting to them at all. Yeah, that's just kind of like what I'm trying to practice. You know, I'm not perfect at it. I'm not perfect. That's why when I, like, in that documentary, I was like, oh, I feel like true love is just letting some people be free and do what they want, like. And it got cut out, like, my full explanation or whatever, but whenever I'm with a girl, I always tell her, like, off the rip, you know, I'm just gonna be doing what I want. You could do what you want. Like, you could fuck anybody you want. I could fuck anybody I want. It's okay. Like, it's really not that serious. It's like guys that kill their girlfriend because she was like friendly with another guy. You know, I'm not really like with all that Tinder shit. Like, I don't, not even like that it's a bad thing. It's just, it's okay. Whatever people are doing, it's okay. Like, whatever I'm doing, it's okay. Everything is okay. I was like super mad when, you know, that person said they were gonna kill me in my sleep. And, you know, that was me speaking from my ego. It's okay that, like, they wanted to do that. Obviously, I'm not gonna put myself in a situation or like be around that person, but, you know, I can choose to remove myself from the situation, but it's okay. Whatever happens, happens. And yeah, people are just gonna act how they want to act. I can choose to either change the situation or accept it. That's all. That's all. You know, it's okay to die. Like, it's okay. And, you know, I'm not some, like, super depressed nigga or anything like that. Like, I'm actually pretty happy. But this is a positive message. I'm really trying to spread positivity. You know, I love being positive and whatnot. So yeah, this is a super positive message that I'm trying to get out there. Just have peace in your life. It's okay, bro. Like, if everybody in the world hates you, everybody in the world thinks you're this, thinks you're that, like, it's okay. You know, people believe anything anyway. Like, I did an art piece where I like canceled myself, and yeah, it's just super funny. Like, people believe anything. But yeah, I'm doing this exhibition in LA in July, and LA exhibition, that's finna be crazy. It's finna be crazy.
Very interesting. I definitely felt like I had a lot to say. I mean, Edward, it's always interesting to see these types of videos because they feel like he's just giving you late night talks, right? He's really opening himself up in a way that isn't expected of artists always. Or even, honestly, man, like friends. I've met many people in this life who will never fucking talk about their deepest fucking feelings like this. So it's good to have that sort of communication, even parasocially, being able to go, like, you know, understanding someone else's humanity somewhat through your own.
I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on your boyfriend, look it up, but you ain't doing shit. Don't baby me. I made moves on there talking about, but you ain't doing shit. I ain't tryna claim her. She wanna leave up. I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the but you ain't doing shit. Too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. Too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're bad, bitch, on I ain't tryna claim her. She wanna leave it up. I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on I'm too bad, bitch, on the knees, but we're wrong. I'm too bad, bitch, on the bad bitch, on
Okay, just show me the video.
Okay.
Alright, do few release right quick.
Release.
Yeah, you about to get messed up. Look.
lot of the times I'll get off of work. Sometimes I'm super inspired, so I'll just immediately come home and start working on a song or like starting a demo. And I'll like work on it till 4 in the morning and then go to sleep. But a lot of the times I'll be super bored and just not know what to do. And then I'll just sit down and randomly just make a demo, usually at night, like 10 at night when I'm supposed to go to bed. And I'll end up staying up all night working on the demo till I gotta go to work the next morning at 7.
That's crazy, dude. I can't be like that. Even with my writing and stuff like that, I'm, again, within the Edward thing, I have OCD. I'm very, very structured with when I do my work and so forth. And first off, too, doing that, like staying up all night and go, I've done that before in my life, and I can't handle it. I'm a bitch. I'll be so mad. I'll be so fucking about to fight somebody.
My mom asked me and my sister what we wanted to play, and I didn't want to really like play any instruments. And my sister wanted to take piano classes. So I had to end up choosing an instrument, and I chose drums. But she couldn't find anybody to teach me. Plus, it was easier for her to just have me do piano, but I didn't want to do it. So she would just have me go to the lessons with my sister, and like my sister would be practicing. And like the teacher would be playing the pieces on the piano, and I would just be in the back, like doing my homework, whatever, not really paying attention. And then after my sister's lessons were done, we would be waiting for my mom, and I would just sit at the piano and mess around. And I ended up playing what the teacher was playing for my sister, and then that's how they figured out that I played piano by ear.
That's
so
cool.
My mom ended up just like forcing me to play piano. So I would like have to do all the recitals and stuff. And I remember my teacher would get mad at me because at the recitals I would just stop playing what she would give me. Like she would give me Fear Release, and I would just stop playing Fear Release and just start playing whatever I wanted to play, basically. Like I would just play. But people didn't know that were attending, so they'd be like, oh my god, he did so good. And my teacher would get mad and complain to my parents that I was doing that. I used to go to Atlanta to visit my cousin every summer, and every time I would go down, he would show me a bunch of new music. And he would show me all his music and stuff, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. So one summer, I think during my 8th grade year, he ended up coming down to New York for the summer instead. And my mom ended up buying him like a random blue snowball mic. Not even a snowball, it was some other, I don't even know what it was. And we literally just recorded a bunch of songs all summer. And I remember performing at like this festival. I think it was like a Juneteenth festival in Brooklyn, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
Right, look, left, right, left, right, now. Today was a good day. Yep. I want to make $1 million for the face of our race. Call of Duty beast, first place every game. Yep. You know what it is. I be playing game. I'm the man, like Superman. Fly through the sky.
Cool.
My sophomore year of high school, I started making music again under the name July. Well, my name was something different before that for like a couple months, but in all that little era, I guess, was July. And I did a lot of rap music, and I remember I got a little traction for one of my songs from Seal Air and Versace Plug using my music. Shout out them, bro. They really pushed my stuff forward back in the day with the July stuff, and also Pool Rail with the songs on Thrasher, if I'm correct. And then I ended up meeting Kane, rest in peace. And we would make music and just talk about art and he had a group named Slur World, and he wanted me to join, and I ended up helping him with the group and getting people to join. I think the first person was Goonie, and then Isaiah and Frank came later on, or maybe Frank was in there before because Vinay. But there were people before me in the group. I don't remember who it was, but shout out them. And when I was making my July stuff, I genuinely would never listen to any of my music. I actually didn't really like it. And I always had like a sound in my head that I wanted to achieve, but I literally just couldn't. And I think for most of the time I was making my July stuff, I was recording on Mixcraft. I never even had FL Studio. I don't even think I had Auto-Tune. I was using G-Snap. If you know what G-Snap is, that's old.
If I get a bitch, she gon' be a fashionista. If I get a bitch, she gon' be a Spanish mommy. If I get out of high school and I get paid, you ain't gonna get no clout, nigga, you a fucking clown. I'm up in my fucking line, iPhone drinking for the line. Bitches working dead, I don't got no fucking zans. And my niggas for the rest, nigga, I ain't for flow. Bitch, you all up on my shit, why you want me on the rest, yeah. Wi-Fi mommy, we gon' take off.
Oh my god, damn.
Wi-Fi mommy, we gon' take off. Got my bitch and we gon' take off. My bitch got your bitch and we gon' take off. Flex up.
Were you making music for Thrasher? Is that what you meant? That's cool. I have a few Thrasher magazines somewhere in my house.
But I started producing in 2020 because I didn't like my music and I wanted a sound that I wanted to achieve. And I had some producers that got kind of close, like Andrew Goes to Hell, shout out, bro. But I had a sound that I wanted to achieve and I knew I was the only one that could do it. So I ended up just starting producing myself. I would post all the songs on my July page and people would get mad that I was switching up my sound. So I ended up making multiple alt accounts, but my main one, like the first main one, was the o0o account. I think the name before o0o was, I think it was Glue Stain. That was a terrible name. And then I ended up changing it to o0o because I was like, I just randomly put it in. I was like, I'll keep it. Like people messed with it, so I ended up keeping it. And I was doing remixes for a while, and that's how my o0o page got popping, like just doing remixes. And then I think around 2022, 2023, I fully like just focused on producing for myself again because that was the goal. And then I was also making beats and stuff because friends were asking. I remember in high school, I was always like into artistic stuff, but I really got into like architecture and product design and clothing, mainly clothing, but the other two, like the latter, I was into that too. And I remember I went on like a deep dive of Apple design and ended up finding out about Johnny Ives and looking into him and who inspired him. And then ended up finding Braun and Dado Rams. And I was always captivated by like the simplistic designs and how everything had like a purpose. It didn't feel like anything was just like there, like for no reason. Like everything had a purpose. Everything had its own place. And I always like try to take that into mine artistically. And whether it was like making clothes or at the time, I think I was doing music. I was doing the July stuff, doing music. And like I really took that into consideration and tried to push that, at least within myself, was when I started making Art's Not For Sale. Like that was like the first album I was like, yo, everything's gonna have a purpose. There's not gonna be a sound just in there just to be in there. Like everything was gonna have a purpose. And I really applied that mindset, and I tried to push that mindset across the board. Just like, yo, like let's like not have stuff just to have it. You know what I mean? Let's like make this like the best album with the least amount of sounds needed.
They didn't even record me cooking it up, twin. What the fuck?
Ooh.
Hello, diary. It's me again. Sky is my hero. This is my summer bucket list you guys can take inspiration from. Just a couple things I want to do this summer, you know, for the hot girl summer. Because Megan said it's another hot girl summer this summer, so
I wouldn't say like one person or one thing truly inspires me. I think it's like an accumulation of different qualities and sounds from a bunch of different people. And like I'll see something, I'm like, yo, I gotta like step up my my game. Like I remember before I was making album music, I heard that McGee album, the one with I think it's Looking Up on it, and I was like, yo, this mixing is like the
I still need to
craziest
listen
I've
to
ever
McGee.
heard. Like I want to make.
There was a song from McGee that I heard, Start a War or something like that, that'd be playing at work. And I was like, this song is fucking absolute bars. So I still need to listen to his music.
Make my own mixing language for my own music. So like as soon as you hear the mixing, you're like, yo, this is his stuff, or like it's different. Like even with like the Ditorams and Brahm, the less is more, I applied that to my music. And then like even like Kanye, like him in general, he inspires me because he's just like fucking crazy, but the quality of his music is insane. I think it's really important that you have people around you that believe in your dream equally as you, or just believe in you to a certain extent. I remember like the first person for me was Kane, rest in peace. Even though like all the Slay World shit happened and niggas fell out and shit, he was like one of the first people that like truly believed in me and my artistic vision, and like always pushed me to keep doing more. And now I got Destructive and Techno Crush, and you just need to have good people around you that will help you achieve your dream no matter what, because you can't do everything by yourself no matter what. I don't care what nobody says. If you look at everybody around, anybody that's ever gotten anywhere, they had people around them. It wasn't just them.
This o0o, don't think I don't know that she is Miami. All these fucking thotties on my dick, make you come on me. Spanish mommy on me, Spanish fucking mommy on me. Spanish mommy on me, I love all my Spanish mommy.
Okay, that's a pretty interesting interview. Somewhat more about where they are now musically, and some of the biography elements of coming up, making their music. Very cool, very cool. I mean, they have a very unique sound, and I'm definitely gonna be curious as to what they do next for sure. Now we have some of these sort of cosigns that Edward has.
I still cry when I feel scars. I fly high, no visa. What are you? I wanna be a ballerina. I wanna drive in every car. Hit the brakes and recharge. Look at me go and be hard. Go so hard. I still cry when I see stars. I still cry when I see stars. I still cry when I feel scars. I fly high, no visa. Go Chanel, ride my belly. Carl Young while I'm posted in the telly. Blow the speakers in the beamer. Keep the light in my heart, I'm a dreamer.
Just a short little thing there. I didn't like it. The vocals are not working for me by any means. The beat's kind of alright. I like its sort of moodiness, eeriness on there, but
Push your signature right here on the dotted line. Push your signature right here on the dotted line. On the dotted line. On the dotted. Push your signature right here on the dotted line. Making memories, little baby, we can leave a shrine. Let's get spiritual, you can wine and dine, we can stay at home, I just wanna make you mine. Tables turning, caress me, I'm yearning for. I'm ignorant, I don't give a fuck, bridges burn, I don't keep them all. Tables turning, caress me, I'm yearning for. Tables turning, caress me, I'm yearning for. I'm dancing with my vices. I'm dancing with my vices. I'm dancing with my vices. Well, I think you priceless. Well, I think you priceless. Well, I think you priceless. Reminisce about what you said. Feel like yesterday. Feel like I said something I was supposed to say. Please don't bring no negative energy around me. Stay far away. These bad vibes I cast away. Bad vibes I cast away. Put your signature right here on the dotted line. Making memories, little baby, we can leave a shrine. Let's get spiritual, you can wine and dine, we can stay at home, I just wanna make you mine. They say the picture worth 1,000 words. Well, I think you priceless. I'm dancing with my vices. They say me full of shit, just let them talk. Well, I think you priceless. Well, I think you priceless. I'm dancing with my vices. 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 Well, I think you priceless. 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 Well, I think you priceless.
I don't like this song either. Honestly, I like Ballerina more for sure. That hook is not working. And I will say one of the worst things about it is how much the beat takes a back seat to these vocals. It just does not work at all.
ever since a jet, I'm in nothing up. At the same time, I worked, I got my bag up. Yo, they see me do this shit so easy. I was in the dirt ground, niggas in these sleeves. Yeah, came up phone flash, like I'm Chris Breeze. Break a bitch, back, another bitch, they need me. At the same time, that life not easy. Second Cody living, it was hotel season. Mr. Moving deep, I was stuck in the deep end. When I reached out, yeah, did you see it? See it, the main star, now they see me. Yeah, when I tell you that, like, yeah, I mean it. There was times I was hurt for defeated. Woke up and got to work, pain was depleted. Woke up and got to work, bad was increasing. When I've been man now for a reason. Had to let this shit go, I was deep in.
Honestly, Yoon, not bad. Not bad. I could see a potential there for sure. I was confused initially hearing him go like, then I was like, oh, he's saying yin yang, bro, and it was kind of fucking working once I knew what he was saying too.
We moving accordingly. And I'm sorry that I broke your heart, baby heart. Just please say something. Just please say something. Time goes fast, you better use it wisely. I'm so gone, so gone, so gone. Off this earth, it's just really shit I deserve. Got family and friends, I will always put that shit first. And I'm waiting, just patiently on my turn. You do you, and I do me, and now together we'll live happily.
PAXSLIM, it's not too bad. I think that little sample like thing that they're doing there is kind of working. I wish that there was still more from the beat, but the hit relatively works. I will say PAXSLIM here though seems like it's the most commercial. Like this, I could see selling the best out of all these songs, to be honest.
I get back home, I get back to me. I get back home, I get back to me. I get back home, I get back to me. We go way too fast, we go way too fast, baby. We go way too fast, we go way too fast, baby. Told her shit that ass, told her shit that ass.
I'm not totally strong on that one either. I don't think I'm a big fan of like any of these songs. The only one that I'd say I think I relatively like is YinYang. But I will say about 101 Kingsley is it doesn't strike out as like specific things being the problem. I'm just not interested. So maybe I could say that that's like the second best out of these. I don't know. Ballerina has an interesting sound. If it wasn't for those vocals, I could maybe say it's the second best. The worst one, my least favorite one, is definitely Priceless. Okay, that's the video. We got to learn a lot of things about people, and we got to get shown some new artists. There we are. If there's anything else you want to see me react to, or anything at all, you can put a comment down below. And thank you for watching. Peace.